What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Sports to the Wire. For those of you who are actually new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe, share it. You know, sharing is absolute caring. When you share, the universe definitely shares back with you. All right, I am your host, Rashid. Other side of the fence over there is Beric. And let's get right into this, man. The Lakers, off-season moves. A lot of people talking about it. It was trending last week. I'm definitely late to the party over here on that, but that's all right. We're gonna bring it back. We're gonna make this retrend again, and we're gonna talk about their off-season acquisitions right there, man. Let's pull this up on the screen here.
Oh yeah, yeah. I tell you, the biggest acquisitions they got, and I'm gonna break them down. We're gonna both break them down, but. My biggest thing is guard play. And I'm going to jump on guard play as like anything else. They signed Wesley Matthews, came from Milwaukee. Got good depth in offense. He's about a good 10-point a game scorer, so about 11 points. And he can help out on defense. Not much for minutes, but he can help out. You re-signed Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, but you're bringing Dennis Schroeder. And he's supposed to play the point guard position and replace
Rajon Rondo, which I think is it's a bad loss for them, man. But go ahead, finish up.
Yeah, and I think and then you bring in Montrezl Harrell, you resign Markieff Morris, and you bring in other support players like Jordan Bell and Alfonso McKinney. But most importantly, you bring in Marc Gasol. Now, this is the new Lakers for the 2021 season. Can this team repeat as NBA champions with this lineup? And I answer, yeah. I believe they have a good shot at repeating as NBA champions. Because what they've done is they've created players on this team that's going to help with minutes. Those minutes are going to be applied to LeBron and to AD. No load management this season. These guys are going to be all in. This is the information. This is the kind of impression I'm receiving from Laker moves. Is that we're going to build our bench. We're going to get guys out there that can play 10 to 15 minutes along, or maybe even 20 minutes along with LeBron and AD. My biggest circle of concern is, can Dennis Schroeder play the point guard position for the Lakers as well as Rajon Rondo? And I answer that question, no. I think it's a downgrade. Even though I know Rondo's an older player, the way Rondo organizes the offense, the way he dishes the basketball and makes the high percentage play and put players in position to score, I haven't seen Dennis Schroeder do that at the level.
Yeah, exactly. And he's a good scoring point guard. Definitely. Right. I mean, he's definitely an upgrade over Rondo in that aspect, man. But I'm gonna get into Dennis Schroeder's stats right here in terms of his assists. We'll get into that, but yeah, definitely. Like I said, everybody's praising this though, Beric. They're saying this is a definite upgrade over Rajon Rondo.
Yeah, I don't see it.
The pundits out there,
right? I don't see it. Of course, I'm not running an NBA team. Okay, I'm not running the Lakers, because if I was, who knows where this team would be. But I'm on the outside looking in. We're both on the outside looking in, making our opinions. But based on the body of work that we've seen from both players thus far, I don't see how that's going to work on the Lakers. Now, it's not saying, and I'm not going to say that it cannot work. I just don't see it working now. The season hasn't started yet. We haven't seen any preseason games yet. Nothing. I want to see some preseason games. I want to see the first 2 weeks of the season. Maybe even 3. Maybe the first month. And let's see if this is going to work. But right now, at this point in time, I don't see how it is an upgrade over the person you let walk out of town. Because the person that you let walk out of town has won a championship before. He did it in Boston.
He did it in Los Angeles.
And he did it in Los Angeles.
And to me, like I said, in my opinion, he was the reason on why they actually won a championship. Because you got to remember something. LeBron James is your point.
Right.
He has to bring the ball up the court.
Right.
24 seconds in the shot clock. You get by the time LeBron brings the ball up to the court, you have 19. Now, what teams can do is actually blitz LeBron right as soon as he get the half court, and then force one of these non-playmaking guards to actually beat you. You know, now none of those guys besides Rondo's can make actually precise passes and get guys into positions and direct people. Rondo was actually able to do that. I never seen Dennis Schroeder do that. You know, so
Yeah,
for me to lose Rondo is not a good thing, man.
I guess yeah, I hear what you're saying, but you know what? At the same time, the Lakers had to show the fans that we're not settling on. We know why we won the last championship, the bubble. Okay, we know we were probably the best, and this is what they're saying. We're probably the best suited team to win. Brooklyn's gotten better. Milwaukee's gotten better.
We gotta talk about Brooklyn because I want to pull up their roster. We'll do that next week.
Yeah,
and they actually won the championship. But
and we have to break down everything because the preseason's gonna be starting. We'll just give our preseason predictions and things of that nature. But right now, like I said, there are other teams that have gotten better and did not settle. The Lakers, I have to applaud one thing. They won the championship. They understood how they won the championship, and they didn't settle. They realized that the team that won the championship cannot repeat as champions. So we had to retool this team. We had to get more younger and agile players on this team to support the main two players. Marc Gasol and AD in the low post, commanding the box. And what AD can do with the ball, and what Gasol can do commanding the low post, and how he passes up the double teams and makes his quality shots. This is going to be interesting to see. That part of the team I'm excited about because I'm all about the low post back to the outside again. That has to go back to it. I think the Lakers are going to do that. They don't look like a team that's going to run up and down the floor. When you bring in Marc Gasol, you're not running up and down the floor. You're trying to slow the game down, play the half-court offense, and wear teams down. So I understand how they're going to go about business. They feel like they can repeat as champions as long as they stay healthy. That's always going to be the key. And with COVID-19, we're not going to touch that right now with NBA, but with COVID-19, this is how we see things going. But what do you think about the Montrezl Harrell thing? What do you think about his addition to the team and what he can bring? Harrell.
He was a throwaway, and he didn't produce in the playoffs. He disappeared in the playoffs. Now, can LeBron elevate him? I don't know. I mean, he doesn't bring a great, he can't shoot. I'm just trying to think what the one thing he does run the floor for a big.
He runs the floor well.
He puts pressure on the defense in that sense where if you can go small with him and you got a slow-footed big, I guess, and
you got Markieff Morris over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking up next year's free agent draft class over here, man. And free agent class next year. And I'm just thinking that they could have probably waited till next year to actually do this, man. I don't know. It was just.
I think they did it because they know LeBron is getting real close. LeBron, I read a story. LeBron has basically sought even more help with the way how he's going to physically get himself ready for the season. It's amazing how he's going to take this level of conditioning because the season just ended almost, a month and a half ago? I mean, you're going to have to get back at it again. So he plans on being on board. They said, listen, LeBron, we're not going to run with this team like this. We're going to go get you some help. Okay? We're going to go get you some help. So I hear that, but I don't think the only thing I have a problem with their acquisition, I think Marc Gasol is a good acquisition. I'm not sure how the Harrell situation is going to work out. I like the Wesley Matthews pickup. Re-signing, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, that was a smart move. But, the Dennis Schroeder move, I have to wait and see if this is going to work out. We're just not certain it's going to work out.
He'll get them. The thing is with Dennis Schroeder, he'll get you through the regular season. It's just come to playoffs in a sense, though. Can he make high percentage passes, where if they force the ball out of LeBron's hand? Because if you're an opposing coach, that's exactly what I would do. Hey, Anthony Davis, are you a great playmaker? You know, Kyle Kuzma, you a playmaker? You go ahead and you beat us then. You know, and by making plays.
And
You
you still
know,
got
which
Dennis. Like I said, bro, you got a loaded team. You have a loaded team of minutes played, guys who can provide others with energy. This team's going to be in every basketball game. They will push you. They will bang you down low. And if they can hit the shots from the outside, they'll do that. This Lakers team's going to be a little bit different than the Lakers teams we've all grown to know. And it's going to be interesting to see how they go about this season. They know Brooklyn got better. They know Milwaukee got better. All right. They know Philly's trying to retool. Even though these teams are not in their conference, in their conference you have to worry about an up and coming Phoenix team. You got to worry about Portland. Okay, these are teams you're going to have to worry about. Of course, the team that shares the same arena with you, the Clippers. You got to worry about them. Okay, and they got their own problems right now. Okay, so the bottom line is you're going to have teams in both conferences that are going to have something to say about who gets to the finals and why. The Lakers, in my opinion, have to be the automatic favorite. And we're going to give our preseason predictions in a week or so. But I'll just go on right now and say I believe the Lakers will come out the West. The East, it had to come down to two teams, either Brooklyn or Milwaukee. And I think it'll be Brooklyn. But I know the Lakers are definitely going to come out that West unless they have catastrophic injuries. We know how to. Speaking of catastrophic injuries, the Golden State Warriors, even though they lost Klay Thompson again, they still have a solid ball club that does have to be, worried about, concerned about. So the West is going to be interesting this year. And unless the Lakers have injury problems, they're going to come out the West.
all right. I mean, they got Montrezl Harrell for 1 year. He's a free agent, and I think they signed Marc Gasol for 2 years. So his contract is up in a couple of years now. He'll become a free agent in 2022. I'm just I'm going through the list right now. I'm just seeing, should the Lakers actually, should they wait it? Or, maybe you're right though, Barrick. Maybe they have to go for it now in a sense though. They have to, make this one last run right now. But I'm just looking, there's better players out here, than the players that they actually, picked up.
Players that make sense financially, so you're not committed to them moving forward.
But they only got them. They only got them for 1 year, and they can actually make trades.
If there's a trade out there, if there's a trade out there to happen, if it's a trade that's going to make you better. If you think the Clippers and the Suns and the Portland Trailblazers and maybe even the Warriors, you think these teams are going to be nipping at your heels come near the end of the season when everybody's trying to vie for playoff position and get to the postseason, if you think these guys are going to somewhat be in the way of that, then you have to go out there and make a trade. But right now, we're not even going to talk about this. Is the team that they want to go out there and start the season with. And by the halfway mark, if this team is doing, and remember, it's going to be a 72-game season, not an 82. So you're losing 10 games. So your margin of error in regards to starting off slow is minimal to none. You have to go to a fast start. This Lakers team is looking to stay healthy and energetic. These are a bunch of guys that will be playing. There will be no bench warmers. All these guys will be seeing the floor this year for at least 10 minutes. All right? This team is going for it. They're going to try to get there, save everybody's time and help, and get to the finals, win this thing. And I think after that, here's a prediction. If they win this title this year, LeBron might just be saying, hey, guys, I'm taking my talents to Hollywood.
The Clippers, did they actually get a point guard? They got somebody, right? Did they actually address their deficiencies at point guard?
Right now with the Clippers, it's amazing because they have decided that they're going to still go with the Paul George and because I think right now they don't believe in Paul George. So
I don't think he got over that leg injury. If you ask me my opinion, you actually see your legs sticking out your ankle sticking out the other way. I think there's a psychological impact there, and sometimes the body's willing, but the mind is not willing, and sometimes the body's willing. The mind is willing, but the body's not willing. And in this case with Paul George, I just don't think he mentally recovered from that injury. He hasn't been the same really ever since that catastrophic ankle injury. That leg injury.
Well, this is what the Clippers have done, and they brought in Serge Ibaka. They brought in Reggie Jackson. All right.
Was he? He was still on. He was on their roster last year.
Well, yeah,
They
he was
didn't even
only
use it
roster
for the
last
playoffs.
year.
Now against
Yeah, exactly.
Tyronn Lue, no, they have a different coach now. So let's see what Ty Lue can actually do
They
in
let
that
yeah,
situation.
right. They had Joakim Noah. They let him go, and I think he's going to retire.
Yeah, he's
Um,
washed up. He was.
yeah. So you
You
got
thank
Marcus
Tom
Morris.
Thibodeau for that, man. Or
Yeah,
Thibodeau, Tom Thibodeau.
Thibodeau. So yeah, I mean, they still got the same team pretty much. I mean, you still got Lou Williams, and you got guys like Rajon Tucker. He's going to be coming off the bench just playing guard. I mean, right now they really hasn't really addressed their point guard position. They just, like I said, they brought in Serge Ibaka. That was their big acquisition.
Yeah, he
No,
definitely stretches the floor for them. He could play some defense.
yeah,
They got him at a good number, I think. So
yeah, they
that's
got him at a good number. Yeah, and you can still, so you still got you brought in Nicholas Batum. I don't know how he's gonna how he's gonna handle him, but they have a lot of guards on their team. They have a lot of guards on their bench. It's just Patrick Beverly and Lou Williams. They're the ones that's gonna dominate most of the time. So they really haven't made much changes. I think they did the same thing. You got Reggie Jackson coming off the bench. I'm sure they're gonna use him more. But are their guard position better than the Lakers guard position? We're gonna find that out. We really are. But I think Paul George is not better than AD. AD is the better 1-2 combination with LeBron than Paul George is with Kawhi. And the Clippers, I always thought they were going to be the better defensive team. They'll be the one that's more likely to come out that Western Conference. But unfortunately, Lakers have gone out there and shown that we're a little bit more deeper. We'll be just as good as a defensive team as you guys are, and we're going to be more energetic down near the stretch. Can these guys keep healthy and things of that nature? Load management, I also think you can have load management this year, but I think teams are going to have to smarten up and start using their bench players a little bit more to keep your star players fresh down the stretch. Lakers have already established they're going to do that. I recommend the Clippers do the same thing.
definitely. Well, load management actually got the Clippers in trouble, man. They can't build any kind of camaraderie or anything like that,
No.
But we'll see. Actually, we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll play the Ty Luke and talk some sense into these guys and say, hey, you got to play. Even if it's like 20, 25 minutes a game. Like the times you're tired. You don't got to play hard. You don't got to go. 100 in a sense, though. But you got to get out there. You got to play and get a good feel for one another. All right.
It.
So
That's
definitely, man. We'll wrap this one up, and definitely like, comment, share, subscribe it. We'll be with you next week, guys, and we're going to get into these preseason picks and see what happens there.
No doubt. That's what we're going to do, man. Season's about a few weeks away. Let's get ready.
All right. Peace.
All right, guys. Peace, guys.